curriculum. It's talking about heredity. What do I mean by heredity, guys? Heredity means the science that study the transmission of characters, of traits from our parents to us. So, الوراثة, علم الوراثة. So, we usually inherit the trait, the physical trait, the internal trait, the psychological trait, the internal trait from our parents. So, we're gonna study the heredity, the science that study the transmission of characters, of traits. Let's start by an introduction to heredity. What do I mean by heredity? Who is the father of heredity? Who is the best scientist that study the heredity? A scientist called Gregor Mendel noticed that all his new growing beans looked identical to the original plant. So there was a farmer. It was a monk كمان اللي هو راهب Gregor Mendel, okay, and he used to plant beans, okay, and he noticed for many years that all his new growing beans looked identical to the original plant. يعني كان يزرع beans فاصوليا وبازيلا كمان peas. Okay, and he noticed that all the new peas and beans look identical to their parents. So they all look identical. They all look alike, their parents' exact copy 100%. Same was observed in dogs, cats, and the human around. And he observed that dogs also offspring, they look alike, they look similar, as well in roses, as well in humans. So he asked himself a question. He said that parents receive traits from their children, or the vice versa, the children receive traits from their parents. The children receive traits from father and mother, and which traits are inherited, and if they are inherited, are they inherited exact copy؟ يعني سأل حاله قال إنه عم يطلعوا كل الأولاد هن بيشبهوا الأهل. شو هي الطريقة اللي عم نعطي فيها هدول التريتس أو هدول الأشكال لأولادنا؟ كيف هيدي الروز الوايت روز والريد روز عم تعطي بينكي روز، يعني intermediate color، يعني it is a mixture between white and red. This dog which looks brown and crossed with a black dog, it gives a dog brown and dotted by black. So, a black man married to a blonde woman, they give rise to a black child. So, this black child inherits the black texture, the black skin from his father, as well as the smooth pea يعني البازيلا اللي قشرتها ناعمة من برا and the wrinkled pea give rise to the smooth pea. Why they didn't give rise to wrinkled pea? So بلش يسأل حاله ليش مثلا بالبيز بالبازيلا عم يطلعوا الولاد هني smooth يعني they look like one of the parents مش they look like both parents. ليش ما طلعوا wrinkled؟ He start to ask himself في كاركتر أقوى من التاني؟ في كاركتر عم نقدر ننقله للولاد والكاركتر التاني عم يتخبى أو ما عم يقدر يبين؟ As well as in the same case of the parents. So black and the blonde, the baby was black. Why the baby look black and not blonde? This is a question. Is black stronger than blonde? Is black dominant over blonde? We're gonna see by studying the hereditary traits. Therefore, Gregor Mendel, اللي هو father of hereditary, okay, concluded that parents receive traits from their children. Please correct this one. Parents give traits for their children. Children receive traits from father or mother. Children receive traits from both parents. Parents and the children exchange traits. So he conclude that there are traits that are shared between parents and offspring. There are traits that are received from parents. So this is a transmission of hereditary character. This is the transmission of trait This is called heredity. So we inherit from our parents the traits. For example, you inherit the eye color from your parents, you inherit the hair color from your parents, you inherit the blood type, فئة الدم, you inherit the look-alike, the eyes, you inherit all things. Disease, for example, we're gonna see that we inherit also the disease, the internal characters. We're gonna see what we also can inherit. Let's see now. This transmission of genetic information from one generation to another is called heredity or genetics. So نحن اللي بنتوارثه من أهالينا هي هيدي الترانسميشن، المعلومات الجينية. المعلومات الجينية يعني المسؤولة عن الكاركتر. أوكي؟ من generation لgeneration، يعني parents عنا grandparents, parents and offspring is called heredity or genetics. علم الوراثة بيقول له heredity or genetics. If I ask you what do I mean by genetics, you answer it is the transmission of character. Because of Gregor Mendel's experiment, he was called by the father of genetics. أكيد he is the father of genetics لأنه بفضله هو قدرنا نعرف إنه we transmit genetic and we transmit character. The structure of animal cell. For sure from grade 7 and 8, you know the difference between animal and plant cell. Plant cell has chloroplast and vacuole, whereas animal cell like these two organelles. What I'm interested in grade 9 هي cell membrane، يعني الكوت A part A اللي بتغلف السل، B the cytoplasm and C the nucleus. We all know that children receive cells from their parents. Therefore, all living things are composed from cells. If I ask you where you come from, you come from an combination, okay, between egg and sperm, which makes a zygote. So نحن جينا من بويضة اسمها الegg from the maternal part and from a sperm, a paternal part, mixed together to make a zygote. Therefore, we inherit cell from mother and a cell from father, sperm and egg, which make a zygote. Then the zygote multiply to make a baby. So all living things are made up of cells, and each cell is surrounded by a membrane called cell membrane, and it is composed of very important part, circular organelle in the middle, which is called nucleus. This nucleus is very important. So let's give a title for this document. It is an animal cell. Label it A cell membrane, B cytoplasm هو الفراغ اللي بيسبح فيه النوكليوس. نوكليوس هو قلبها للسيلز أو منقله نواة، يعني بقلب النوكليوس. What is important about the cell that the genetic information is located inside the nucleus. So the genetic information grade 9 is found in the nucleus. Structure that carries the genetic information. After studying the shape of the cell, the scientists start searching for the exact structure of the cell that carries the genetic information from parent to children. So قلنا إنه الولد جاي من sperm and egg. والسبرم هو سال والأج هي سال وفي بقلبه النوكليوس. بلشوا يتساءلوا هل الجينيتيك انفورميشن أو المعلومات الوراثية وين موجودة؟ هل هي موجودة بالسيتوبلازم؟ هل موجودة بالسل ممبرين؟ أو موجودة بالنوكليوس بقلب السل؟ يعني لما منورث السل من أهالينا كيف بيعطونا الكود؟ كيف بيعطونا المعلومات الوراثية؟ شكل العيون، لون الشعر، شكل المنخار، شكل التم، الطول، كل شكلنا، كل هالمعلومات الجينيتيك انفورميشن كيف بيعطونا اياها؟ وين موجوده تحديدا؟ So they made an experiment وكان عندهم فرضيتين. Gordon is one of the important scientists that proposed two hypotheses to solve this problem. أول فرضية إنه السيتوبلازم هو اللي بقلبه الجينيتيك information. The second hypothesis, nucleus carries the genetic information. Let's see the experiment made on frog. I have a white tadpole. تدبل هو أكيد the the frog before completing the metamorphosis and becoming a frog. They extract the cell in it. I have eggs from green frog. So جبت أنا frog خضراء و I extracted the eggs. I removed the nucleus. So عندي a cell with cytoplasm only without a nucleus. And I extracted the nucleus from a white tadpole and I put it in the cytoplasm of a green frog. يعني أخذت النوكليوس من الفراغ البيضاء وحطيته بقلب السيتوبلازم للفراغ يلي هي خضراء. All the offspring كل الأولاد طلعوا white tadpole, which means that they conserve the genetic information which was found in the nucleus of the white frog. That's the conclusion. Then the hypothesis 2 is the validated hypothesis. It's the nucleus carries the genetic information. No matter where we implanted this nucleus, it reveals the genetic information carried by the nucleus. And for example, if a couple of white people, okay, they are unable to reproduce because of a problem in the uterus, and we bring the nucleus of a white individual. يعني أخذنا النوكليوس لبيبي وايت وحطيناه باليوترس بالرحم of a black woman. The baby will be blonde, will be white, because the genetic information is conserved and it is found in the nucleus and not in the cytoplasm. So المعلومات الوراثية اللي نحن ناخدها من أهالينا أخذناها من خلال sperm and egg, وتحديدا من خلال النوكليوس in the sperm and egg. رح نعرف بعدين بالactivity 1 انه in the nucleus I have something called chromosomes, and the chromosomes are the real carrier of the genetic information. I want you to identify the validated hypothesis by copying it on your copybook as well as